The following is a paid advertisement. The views expressed are the sole responsibility of the advertiser.
I'm attorney Justin Clark. Coming up just ahead on You Have Real Estate, you own properties, but you want to protect them from creditors, or you own properties and you want to make sure your kids don't fight over them in the future. What do? It's all just ahead. It's You Have Real Estate.
Your debt does not have to control your life. You have the power to potentially lower or even eliminate your debt. I'm attorney Justin Clark. Call me now for a free consultation or visit youhavepower.com and take back control of your financial life.
You Have Real Estate is proudly sponsored by Renewal by Andersen, your full-service window and door replacement company. Learn more at rbafla.com.
Welcome to You Have Real Estate, brought to you by Renewal by Andersen. I am your host, Justin Clark. A wonderful show ahead for you today, but first, the opening statement. We love real estate, we love purchasing real estate, and it is a great investment as well, but how do you protect your real estate? Do you set up a trust? Do you set up LLCs? How do you protect the real estate investments that you've made, the biggest investments of your life, from creditors, but also maybe you have children. What happens if something happens to you? Do you want your kids fighting over your real estate? How do you prevent that? Wonderful questions, and questions we are going to answer today together by asking real questions. Every weekend here on the program, we ask real questions to the truly trend-setting people in Central Florida's real estate community. For the first time, I've heard about this guy for a long time. So happy to have him on the show. Attorney John Marshall's here. John, welcome to the show. How are you, brother?
Good. How are you?
Good to see you. A cufflink guy like me. I like that very much. We're going to get into this a little bit, but I want to get into you first because I've studied you a little bit. A lot of people don't like lawyers because they think that we're stuffy. They think that we're mean and nasty. You're just the opposite. In fact, you have a business card in your office for your dog that says Chief, what is it?
It's the Chief Marketing Officer.
Chief Marketing Officer. If
Yep.
that is not something that makes people feel comfortable coming to talk to a lawyer, I don't know what is, huh?
Gizmo is our greeter, and he does his job very well.
But how important is that to you, that your clients feel comfortable, that you're approachable?
So, one of the things that when we started our own practice, and I say we, my wife is here, she's my marketing manager, my best friend, and what we've done is we've created an office environment that is more homey, because when people come in, they're either one, talking about estate planning, which is, in a lot of people's minds, they're thinking of death, which estate planning isn't all about death, but that's what people expect. Or maybe we're doing a guardianship where somebody has a mental incapacity issue, or maybe it's a probate and it's a death issue. We want an environment that says, come in, talk to us, this is a safe environment, it's a pleasant environment, even down to having our dog greet them.
Yeah.
And Gizmo does a very good job at greeting people and then promptly going back to work, sleeping. Yeah. He's the only one allowed to sleep at his desk. But no, we strive to create that type of environment because we don't want people coming in and having the fear of the lawyer or these assumptions as to how they're going to be treated or what kind of environment they're going to be in.
Yeah, I think that's important. That's the way I started too, so I really like that about you. But let's take this example, okay? Let's say someone has their primary home, but they've also have some investment real estate, 3 houses or something like that. I hear them, they come into my office and they say, oh yeah, they're just all in my personal name. What do you tell that person?
Well, the first thing we talk about is we have to get you some type of creditor protection. The first thing to do for creditor protection is buy good insurance. Make sure that you have enough insurance coverage. Insurance is wonderful from the standpoint that they do provide liability protection and they will pay for the attorney to defend you in those circumstances. But then we want to look at, how do you own the property? Do we need to own it if you're married, between the two of you as husband and wife, what we call tenants by the entirety ownership here in Florida, which is very unique to Florida? Do we want to have it in an LLC? But LLCs only work if you have 2 or more members of the LLC. A single member LLC does not get creditor protection under Florida law. And if you're a single person, maybe we need to look at something like a land trust, which can give us additional protection. But we have to sit down and talk about that client, their particular circumstances, the nature of the property they own, and figure out the solution that best meets their needs.
Yeah, and if you have questions about this, by all means, you can talk to John off air. There's a QR code on the screen for you right now. Take out your phone, it'll go right to John, or you can call the phone number on the screen, 407-205-0400. These are important questions. I mean, these are important things that you need to do to protect your asset. Who knows what can happen? You get sued, they can come take your property sometimes if they're just in your name, and there's no reason to leave them in your name like that at all. Another thing, though, that I see, all right, you've worked hard all your life, you've got kids, you're getting a little bit older, and you do have some real estate or some assets. John, I've seen it so many times where someone passes away, my kids love each other, they're gonna be fine, they'll figure this out. Next thing you know, mom and dad are gone, World War III with the kids.
Right.
They can protect against that.
They can. We have to do a good estate plan. And when we sit down to talk with our clients, we want to talk about their family dynamics, the nature of their assets. And so our approach is, we're not going to tell you what you need when you come in. We want to have a dialogue and then build the plan around the family dynamic. And even if the kids get along great, we need to have an estate plan that allows us to adjust as circumstances change. But that way, if we have it set up properly, we know who's getting what. We can put the right people in charge, and we can still make sure people are treated accordingly, according to what the client wants.
Yeah, well, but John, it's so expensive to hire a lawyer. It's going to cost me so many thousands of dollars. It can be way too expensive if you don't hire a lawyer before.
So one of the things that I have in my office is a coffee mug, and it says, "Do not confuse your Google search with my law degree." And one of the things that people sometimes will say is, "Well, I read on Google," or "I did this," or, better yet, "I used an online forms generator." What people need to understand is we actually make more money cleaning up those messes than if we did it right up front. As a lawyer, and you know this, our duty is to our client, and our duty is not to ourselves. So I'm not going to take an action that makes me more money down the road. I'm going to take an action that is in the client's best interest today. It will require maybe more commitment up front from a cost perspective, but what we're trying to do is head off very high expensive costs down the road.
Yeah. How does that initial consultation with you work, though? So I don't know what I need. I just know I feel like I'm a mess. I feel like my finances are a mess. I want to get everything put together. How does that initial talk really go?
So we begin by sending the client an intake form. It's either can be done online or by paper, but it collects information about the client, their beneficiaries, their children, their assets. And I sometimes have people say, that's a lot of questions. Well, here's the thing. We need to know that information so that we understand the nature of your estate, so we understand what questions to ask or what issues to address. Somebody who has $2 million in IRAs versus $2 million in real estate, their needs are completely different.
Sure.
So we need to understand that. Now, at the same time, when we sit down, we have that information. Now we're talking to the clients about the issues that we've identified, but now also asking them questions that may not be on the document. Tell me about your kids. Tell me about, circumstances. Tell me about your pets. Pets are very dear to us. Yeah. There are things that we can address in your estate plan. At that point in time, now we have a plan that is custom tailored to the client and their unique circumstances.
Good deal. John, great to meet you, man. Thanks for coming in.
Hey,
Let's do this more often, all right? That's wonderful
Sounds
information.
Good.
I'd recommend you calling him. Again, QR code on the screen right now. And look, if you don't like John, you can meet Gizmo at the end of the day, or Patty, who's very nice as well. Here's what we'll do. A very quick break. When we return, You Have Real Estate continues. You own a house, you need to have your windows and sliding glass doors checked right away. I'll tell you why. Joined by my good friend Dan Bringman, Renewal by Anderson. How do I know, Dan, when it's time to have my windows and sliding glass doors checked?
Well, it's a great question because it's not always obvious. One of the ways that sticks out immediately is that energy bill. We have to make, we've seen it go up all year long. Got a couple cool days now. A couple other ways are they're not functioning properly. You have some dust on the seals, and also just water infiltration, or maybe you heard a lot of rattling during some wind and so forth.
Absolutely. QR code is on the screen for you right now. What does it cost to have you and your design team come out and see what's going on with my windows?
Absolutely nothing but your time.
That's a beautiful thing, and they're going to come check it out, tell you exactly what you need or don't need sometimes. But a lot of people say, well, Dan, you know, I'm worried about the economy. I don't want to write a big check right now. You've done amazing things to make this almost free sometimes when you compare it to your electric bill.
Absolutely, and it's a great thing to be concerned about, but we take the worry away. What we've done is we've extended our finance plans, and we call them our easy pay plans, and they go up to 148 months, or I'm sorry, 144 months, and we go as low as 5.97. I mean, that's like really low. Most terms out there go as high as 12, 14%.
And if you think about what you're paying every month versus how you're going to save money on your electricity bill, this is almost free for you and a no-brainer. Dan, always good to see you, buddy. Do yourself a favor right now. Hit the QR code on the screen and call Renewal by Anderson today. Welcome back to the show. You know I love Mike and Chad Newberry Homes. They're fantastic when it comes to building custom homes. We've been talking about their new project, 6 in the City. Groundbreaking today. We're going to go out there and check it out. We're going to check out Miranda. I had to write this down because I don't remember the names. Miranda, Carrie, Samantha. But is there a Mr. Big? Let's go check out 6 in the City. Welcome back to the show. This is super exciting today. I've been talking to you about this project for a while now, joined by my good friends, Mike and Chad Newberry. It's finally happening, guys. 6 in the City, a groundbreaking ceremony. I think this is my first groundbreaking ceremony on the show, by the way.
Oh, really?
Yeah, very happy. It's good to see you guys first. It's been a while since I've seen you, Mike.
Yeah.
How you been?
I've been great.
Good.
Great.
So Newberry Homes, this is a brainchild of you guys, and now we're here for the groundbreaking. Tell me where we are and what we're doing.
We're in College Park, so a great neighborhood right outside of downtown Orlando. And we're breaking ground on 6 tandem single-family houses right in the heart of College Park.
When you see this happening from literally your brainchild to now we're sitting here about to break ground, how does it make you feel?
Oh, very relieved, excited, and happy.
Rewarding.
It took us a while to get through permitting and zoning and all that kind of stuff. So I'm very relieved that the day has finally come, and so has all of our partners on this project.
You talk about location. I can't think of really a better location here in Orlando.
Yeah. I think I'm calling these city homes because, you know, they're right in the heart of the city. It's walking distance to restaurants, bars, great school system. I don't know. I feel like College Park is a great neighborhood for young people and families, so I'm really excited about this project.
It is a great neighborhood, and you talked about the restaurants, and it's constantly evolving, College Park, but it's different than other parts of the city. I feel like College Park's its own little neighborhood. Yeah,
I think it's got a charm to it, and it's got a neighborhood vibe to it, even though it's so close to downtown and so easily accessible to Winter Park. So it's just a great location for anyone to live in and hang out in and, you know, just experience life in.
Yeah, he's Chad to me, he's son to you. You're your dad, obviously. How do you feel when you see Chad doing these things, like coming up with these ideas and then really making them happen?
Well, he's very good at speaking with the audience and everything, and he's better looking. But he does a really great job of getting Newberry the word out of what we do and all of our accomplishments and that. So very proud of him as a dad.
What about Newberry construction in general, though? Newberry Homes in general, you've been doing this for a long time. You've been building houses for a long time. I think that trust can be such an important factor when you choose your builder, especially for a custom home builder, because you're going to get to know each other pretty well for the next 6 months, a year, even longer.
Right. It's a relationship for sure. And we work and we strive very hard to build that relationship with trust all the way through. Like any relationship, it has its challenges in that, but we try to be forthcoming and honest and just let everyone know where we're at. We certainly don't want it to end up like a bad girlfriend or a bad marriage. So that's the thing about being a custom home builder and what we do is so unique and our clientele is so unique. But it's that relationship, and we're into it for the long haul. Sometimes it's 15 months to 2 years.
I see a lot of builders out there trying to create confusion, hide the ball. mess with spreadsheets. How important is transparency when you're doing a custom home build?
It's real important. I mean, I come up with an anticipated cost budget from historical information, history. I can get some of the quotes from the vendors and whatnot, but it's very transparent. And when we work with our investors and our team and clientele, everything is truly out there. I mean, we lay out the invoices, we compare it with budget. I have what I call bid leveling, and you know, as you move through the project, at least in the couple 2-3 draws, you'll take some of that money and you'll level it out, because in a design build project, we're still working through the design. So a lot of the information, the selections, they haven't been determined yet. Yeah. So we're working basically with allowances, and then we really strive hard. I've got a great project manager, a great project management team that helps align with the client and keep that within budget, and at least make them aware, look, we're over budget here, what do you want to do? And let them decide.
Absolutely.
You know?
So a lot of people out there are deciding right now, I want to buy a home for my family, or I want to maybe buy a home from a builder for my family, or I want to do a custom home design. They don't even know who to call to begin the even thought process of building a custom home. How does that start with you for a family who's thinking, maybe I do want a custom home?
Yeah, usually it starts with a phone call with us and sharing with us what their vision is, what they want in a home, how the size of the home, and like their budget range. That's usually a good starting point. I also encourage people on our website, mynewberry.com. We have a custom home calculator, so people can kind of go in and tinker around with the cost that the house that they're envisioning versus the cost that it actually comes in at. And then we just kind of have a very honest conversation, transparent, about like what their anticipation is, what their real budget is, and is there alignment? If not, something's got to give.
Yeah. What was the inspiration behind Sex and the City?
I think
a TV show.
I think these are definitely city homes, and there's 6 of them. Yeah. And I've got 4 models, so I've named them Miranda, Carrie, Samantha, and Charlotte. Yeah. And so I don't know, it just kind of worked out.
So the pink was appropriate for me to wear today.
Yeah.
Congratulations,
you're
guys.
on point.
I think we have some groundbreaking to do. Are you ready?
Yep.
6 in the city. I can't believe it, man. I'm glad we're finally doing this. I love you guys. Keep up the great work. Here's what we'll do. A very quick break. When we return, You Have Real Estate continues. Justin here with the beautiful Michaela. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
There's been a major shift happening in the air conditioning industry, and Old Ash, together with Duquesne, is leading the way.
Committed to the future, Old Ash introduces a new generation of systems that use R454B refrigerant, an innovative alternative that reduces global warming potential by 78% compared to the R410A.
This change is perfect opportunity for anyone looking to replace an old unit or install a new air conditioning system. Old Ash wants you to understand what these changes mean so you can make the best decisions for you, your home, and your family. With a simplified product lineup, compatibility with both R410A and R454B equipment, and available refrigerant detection system kits, the transition is smooth and efficient.
Old Ash technicians are fully trained and certified in these new procedures, ensuring a professional installation that meets the latest industry standards. And most importantly, you'll have peace of mind knowing that their team is with you every step of the way.
With Duquesne and Old Ash, every unit installed is a step towards cleaner air and a more sustainable future. Stay informed, stay cool. Trust Duquesne.
Give them a call today to learn more about these changes and how they could affect your AC unit, and let their trusted service providers guide you through it. Old Ash, educating ourselves to educate you.
Welcome back to the show. We've talked about a lot today. We talked about protecting your assets. And look, I believe that investing in real estate can be a way to acquire wealth for you and your family, but you got to start somewhere. If you've never invested in real estate, how do you get started? More importantly, where do you get started? Joined by Elisha Lopez, Ocala Realty World. Welcome. How are you? Good to see you. And I've seen so many people grow wealth by investing in real estate, but you have to start with something, right? You've got to start with that first property or the first piece of land, whatever you're going to start with. And I love the thought of looking outside of the major city, right? Looking in Marion County, looking in Levy County, a place where maybe instead of starting in Orlando with one property, Maybe you look in Levy County and you get 2 or 3 with the same amount of cash out of your pocket. What do you tell someone who's looking to become a real estate investor?
Call me. But get educated. That's the biggest thing. Is if you go into anything blind, you're always gonna have hiccups and mistakes, but I think you can have less. Well, you definitely can have less if you're working with a professional that knows what they're doing, that has done it before, personally invest in real estate, so that way it can guide you.
You hear about when you're buying your primary home, oh, you can do 3% down or 0% down or 10%. You always hear that, but I don't think people talk as much about what sort of cash outlay you need to buy that first investment property. Maybe some people think you have to pay all cash. You know, maybe you do. I don't know. What am I looking at as far as my cash going out of my bank account to purchase that first investment property?
I'd say on an average is the 20% down, and that's like the typical. I know some investors, they put 30% down, like they have the actual cash to buy 1, but they'll put 30% down on 3. So now they have 3 instead of 1.
There you go.
Yeah.
What about property management? So let's say I am going to dip my toes in the real estate investment waters, and I'm going to get 2 properties that I'm going to hold and I'm going to rent. Should I be the landlord myself, or do you think I should hire someone to help me with that?
Definitely want to get help with that. You know, it seems pretty simple, but there's a lot of laws that obviously are going to protect the tenant, and there should be, because there's also a lot of landlords that take advantage of that. So having a property management company or property manager handling it all for you, that you don't have to worry about really anything except collect your check at a small fee, about 10% of the monthly rent.
I see a lot of landlords, mostly people who have 1 or 2 houses, getting sued for how they handle the security deposit. I think there are lawyers out there that's almost all they do is sue landlords for not going through the right process for withholding the security deposit because I had to fix the carpets or whatever. It can be dangerous and really cost you a lot of money if you don't know what you're doing.
Absolutely, and even having a property manager can be costly if you have one that doesn't know the laws or doesn't care about the laws, because the laws are there to protect the public, to protect the consumer, and that's why we're licensed, is to actually protect them. And if you don't know the laws, or the property manager doesn't know the laws, that really can hurt them, and they're not allowed to have that money. It's not theirs.
Exactly. If you're thinking about purchasing investment real estate, here's what you should do. QR code's on the screen right now. Talk to Elisha, first of all, and she can even send you listings as they come on the market, but don't sleep on this, not Volusia, but Marion County, Levy County. There are other counties right there too. What other counties do you work in there?
We've got Citrus County, which citrus, you know, a lot of people slept on citrus, and now they're regretting it, because you got Citrus Springs, and it's all these like PUD planned communities, but they're beautiful, and the prices are probably double than what they were 5 years ago.
We need to take the show on the road, I think. Visit Ocala Realty World again, but I've spent time in Levy, spent time obviously in Marion. I don't think I've spent a lot of time in Citrus County. I don't understand it well enough. I need to understand it better. What are the prices like in Citrus?
So you're looking at a 1/4 acre, 3-2, 2-car garage, brand new actually, under $300,000. But it's that feel where everybody's like, I want to get away from the hustle and bustle of the city, but I still want, you know, grocery stores and things close by. Yeah, Citrus, definitely way to go. Levy's going to be even more rural, more farmland, more dirt roads, but Citrus, you've got actually paved roads.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Beautiful. I don't know. I love Levy County for some reason.
Yes.
I just have great memories of that place. And again, I think Levy's one of the places where you can maybe buy some land and sit on it for a few years.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe a couple decades, who knows, and it's going to be worth a lot of money someday.
Yeah.
So I think, I love what Elisha's doing for you, really, is showing you properties that you can buy. Some of you maybe are renting an apartment here in Orlando, but you want to own a house. You can maybe afford that mortgage payment when you look up into the Marion, Citrus, Levy County area. Or certainly if you already own a property and you want to invest in real estate, I think it's a wonderful part of the world to really start that investment real estate game. And I think you can make a lot of money, really acquire wealth for you and your family for many years to come. QR code on the screen right now. Elisha will send you the listings as they come live. Excellent job as always.
Thank you.
Good to see you. We have to do this, Citrus.
I love it. We're going on the road.
Michaela, we're going on the road, okay? Thank you to all of my amazing guests today, to our crew. You always crush it. Derek Moser even killing it today. Most importantly, thank you. See you again next week for more You Have Real Estate.
Your debt does not have to control your life. You have the power to potentially lower or even eliminate your debt. I'm attorney Justin Clark. Call me now for a free consultation or visit youhavepower.com and take back control of your financial life.
The proceeding was a paid advertisement. The views expressed were the sole responsibility of the advertiser.